That was an episode. Just watched it twice. Real Housewives of Potomac is just coming for the necks of every other franchise this season. Initial thoughts, loving Robin this season, the voice of reason, the steady voice of reason, and no longer Giselle's lapdog. And of course, our girl Candace is just not the one to be played with. She has matured and she knows how to play this game right now, and she's showing us that. So welcome to Talking Taste with Ty. Let's talk about it. So the scene picks up exactly where we left off last episode, episode 1. And that is at Karen's spring fling, shindig, a party that she has. And the argument with Mia and Giselle continues. Giselle, of course, is coming at her sideways with is this what no cancer looks like? And Mia's like, F you. So, yeah, that's just kind of how that's going. All the way left. My favorite reaction is Candace, Escala, and Wendy in the background. And Candace is like, I don't want to go over there. Yeah, of course, we have to be part of the scene, so we need to make our little happy selves, over there and let ourselves be a part of the scene. So the scene really just continues going on with Jacqueline, Mia's friend, coming to Mia's defense, and then Giselle just not understanding why she wants the issue, doing this for attention, and in typical Giselle fashion, acting as if everyone has to explain everything about their lives to her. Again, not 100% believing Mia, but gosh, I'm really not liking Giselle right now, and I really never liked Giselle. So again, you are not that girl, and I don't have to explain anything about my health or about what I post to you. That simple. Charisse comes in and kind of breaks up the tension a little bit. Oh yeah, before that, we get introduced to Jacqueline thanks to Wendy's little quip, like, who are you? And she's like, I'm Jacqueline. I'm Mia's friend. So, oh, okay. So again, bravo, this is what we're doing. We're starting to introduce a few characters like Jacqueline and Deborah slowly into the fold to see how they test with audiences. So far, I don't really, I'm on the fence about Jacqueline. I have really no true thoughts of her except for the fact that she's friends with Mia. Not sure if that's really a good look for her. We'll see. She says they've been friends for a while, so we'll see how this all plays out. If anyone's been following what's going on Instagram, these two are at each other's throats right now. So I think their friendship was very short-lived. So Robin is calling everyone out, saying, listen, we were all talking about it. No one really believed it. And they do a flashback from Ashley. Karen, who I think Karen was actually being really diplomatic about the situation, and even Candace all kind of insinuating they don't really believe Mia's story. And, yeah, gosh, it's so difficult. Do you know what to believe? I don't know what to believe. I mean, it's her health. I don't agree with how she's posting about it, but and how she's kind of displayed in this scene. She comes out and she's kind of going on about how she only has to, she's doing God's work on Instagram, I guess. Oh gosh. I guess she's doing God's work when she's lying and she's throwing, wine in people's faces. I guess that's God's work too, but I guess we'll get to that later on in the season. Charisse comes in with hugs, kind of breaks up the tension. And Karen is immediately like, what's happening? And Robin's like, oh, I invited Charisse. I mean, Karen said I could bring a +1. So that is hilarious. You can tell that Charisse really gets under Karen's skin. And we're going to see a little bit more about that later. So Robin did invite, Charisse. Karen's going to probably do her best to continue to curb Charisse. And my favorite part is new and improved Ashley, who doesn't drink. It's like, I gotta get warm in here. I need some tequila shots. And so I feel like she is not, listen, Ashley, be yourself. If you want some tequila, drink some tequila. Okay. It's not going to make you a bad person. You don't differentiate yourself from Michael by saying, oh, I'm living this new path. I don't drink. He still drinks and parties. I'm this new, wholesome housewife. Honey, just do you, okay? Drink a shot of tequila and own it, and it's okay. Oh my goodness. One of my faves popped back up, you guys, and that is Katie. Oh gosh. Candace said that Katie popped back in. We haven't seen Katie since she left on the last trip, how many seasons ago, when she bailed on them in the middle of the night. And Katie comes back in with green eyes and a bald head. And she's gorgeous. I mean, come on, she was a model. She can pull most looks off. Speaking of off, she still doesn't seem 100%. I've not really followed what's been going on in her personal life. I know she's had a lot of struggles and custody issues with her daughters. I mean, she's a complex person, and she brought some energy to this event, dare I say. So as soon as Katie walks in, this is Giselle's gushing over Katie, like, oh, Katie, this is who Ray had a crush on. So she immediately walks Katie up to Ray and was like, hey, look, Ray, here's Katie. And Katie is giving him a hug, grabbed his butt, rubbing his head, and Karen is making, in her confessional, didn't seem too thrilled with how happy Ray seemed to be with all the attention and affection he was getting from Katie. On the other side of the room, you have Candace and Ashley having a conversation about Candace's parenting plans, or her plans to become a mother. And she was telling her, I'm not drinking because I'm doing IVF. And Ashley's so excited. Meanwhile, Goofy Wendy's in the background hyping up this friendship that I still do not buy. I don't forget. I'm sorry, Ashley, the way that she came at Candace seasons ago and gave that deposition for Monique's case as a character witness against Candace, I don't like it. I don't trust it. But I guess Candace is this new person. She's trying to, be the bigger person. She says she's always liked Ashley's vibe. I'm like, what vibe? When she's maliciously spreading gossip and stirring the pot all these seasons. Again, just because she's popped out a couple of kids does not mean we have forgotten about the mess that Ashley would always get started, or the messes that she would always get started. So Wendy's like, oh, I love seeing you two together. And I'm like, Wendy, you and Ashley just had a knockout, drag out fight your first season. But okay, this is what we're doing. We're letting bygones be bygones. If they can be the bigger person or bigger people, so can I. So yay, they're going to be friends. Again, I always thought they'd be really cute together. And then you start to rewind it back and think about all the mess that Ashley has been into. And you're like, don't trust it. I don't trust it. I just can't put my finger on it, but it seems awkward. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, about the whole Chris Bassett drama. So yeah, then Karen gets up there and she has this speech on her phone, and it's a really weird speech. She has notes, but my goodness, she really says nothing. I think this is like a speech to all of her haters in the room. Like, I am here. I am fabulous. Don't let your haters and all this hoopla she's going on about. And she ends with, the Grand Dame is back. And Wendy's like, everybody's confused. She's back? Where'd she go? I think it was Wendy who said, where'd she go? To the liquor store? I thought that was pretty funny. Karen needs a speechwriter. She, and amidst all of her crazy speech, you have Giselle kind of shading her party in the confessional. Like, oh, we're having a spring party at a Mexican restaurant. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a Mexican restaurant. It has Mexican food. It's a beautiful atmosphere. And it's springtime equals spring party, Giselle. It's really not that difficult of a thought to grasp, but apparently she's having some trouble. So we go into the second scene. And this is really cute. Just some little snippets of the ladies being in their element parenting. You see Robin and her son Carter, who's so handsome. He's so tall, in the car, and he's telling her about his grades. And he's like, I have 3 B's and the rest A's. And I think it's like 2 A's, but the way that he worded it, I'm like, this kid is clever. He is going places, probably to political office with the way he worded that, but definitely going places. You also see Wendy and Eddie with their kids. I think she's packaging up the candles, telling her sons, listen, I don't want you guys to depend on women in your lives. And so I really want to teach you how to cook. And Eddie kind of throws some shades like, yeah, because sometimes the women you get just don't cook or something like that, he says. And she looks at him and gives him an eye roll, and they laugh. They're adorable. They will always be adorable. Move on to Karen. Karen is having her post-op checkup after her breast enhancement. And she talks about how she just had some extra fat sucked out from some places, her bat wings and other places, and had them put in. So it's still all naturally her. She's like, I don't have anything fake in me. It's still all me, just kind of in a different placement. And she does look fabulous. And she kind of gives her little disclaimer to how she would tell women who are in their 20s to, not get plastic surgery. And the camera pans back to the doctor and the nurses' faces, and they're like, well, don't do that. I mean, their faces said it all. Like, we probably don't want this scene to air, and surprise, it did. Again, at the end of the day, listen, women, do what you want to do with your bodies. We'll get into that a little bit when we talk, when Karen has this discussion with Ray. Move on to Candace trying to peel these potatoes. Lord, have mercy. Bless this woman. She's pretty. She can sing and she's smart, but I don't think she's that good of a cook. Let's just say she found the perfect partner for her in Chris. But Candace is cooking, and in walks Candace's sister, Crystal, whom we love. Crystal just gives big energy. I think Crystal's her baby sister, and Crystal does not play. It's always that baby that comes along that tests your parents, that, you can put pressure on your oldest child, but that baby is not falling for it. And Crystal just does not give in to their mom like Candace does. But nonetheless, Crystal's mom and dad are building her house. So in the meantime, she's staying with Candace and Chris. So she's talking to Candace, and it was really cute because she's like, oh, Candace, you're a singer, you're a student, you're a wife. And Candace says, and soon to be trying to be somebody's mama. And Crystal just flirts out, bitch. I love their energy. And she, talks about wanting to have a kid by the end of the year and her IVF process. And then she basically says that Chris and Crystal in the household are like her two kids, and how when she went away, they let her plant Cynthia die. So I thought that was really funny. She's like, that one job, and that was to keep Cynthia the plant alive, and they killed Cynthia the plant. Maybe they should not babysit. Just saying. No, but it was a really cute dynamic. I love seeing Candace's sister on screen. She's adorable and she's fun. She brings out a really fun side of Candace. Candace is always fun, so neither here nor there. Then we get to Ashley and her friend, Deborah. The more I watch this, I think Deborah's a plant. I think Deborah maybe auditioned. Deborah seems to me like someone who auditioned for the show. And they said, okay, we're going to bring you in as Ashley's friend and try you out. But meanwhile, she went back and studied all the seasons for the show because, honey, she came in popping with the questions. It was like if she sat me in front of Ashley, she was asking all the pertinent questions that the audience wants to know. She was grilling her. So again, not sure if they're truly friends because Deborah was, again, asking the hard questions and mostly about her divorce or separation. Like, hey, where's everyone sleeping? And Ashley's like, oh, I sleep in Dylan's room. And do you think he thinks it's cheaper to keep her? And Ashley's like, well, of course. Has he tried to reconcile? She did not say that he has tried to reconcile with her. But again, maybe they just get to live their separate lives and stay married on paper. I think for someone like Michael, that would be ideal instead of going through yet another expensive divorce. So, guys, listen, hear me out here. That really could be what they decide to do. Like, hey, I'm going to live in this house here. You can live in this penthouse, and we're just going to do our own thing, and you can continue to pay for my lifestyle. So, again, we'll see that. How that pans out. One thing I thought was funny too, she's like, do you think Michael's dating? And she's like, well, no. And she's like, well, do you think how soon do you think he's going to start dating when you leave the house? And she goes, oh, if I leave on a Monday, he's going to be dating someone by Tuesday. She knows her man. In fact, he's probably already dating someone. She's in the house. I mean, because it's Michael Darby. I mean, he's cheated a few times before, so what's to say that he's definitely not cheating now because they are separated. Let's see. So again, we just talk about, we get to see a little bit of them and their mommy playtime and having wine. And again, Deborah just really asked those big questions that we all wanted to know. Ashley starts talking about her TikToks. Whew, child, listen. Ashley's cute and she's bubbly and she gives you, high school cheerleader 1, 2, 3, and she does little head tosses and she's fine. She's giving what she gives. Has a lot of followers because again she has great energy. But dancing has really been therapy for her. Something about learning that choreography and putting it on camera and probably getting praise and adoration from fans, I'm sure helps her a lot. So she wants to host a class for the women. And she wants to do one of those high heel, sexy dance routine classes that she wants to invite the women to. So Deborah just pops up and like, hey, are you inviting Candace? She's like, you know what? Yeah, I think we're going to try to be in a better place. So yeah, she's going to invite Candace. So again, Deborah's been paying attention and Deborah is asking the questions that we want answers to. So kudos to you. Maybe we'll see more about her and her life later on. We then go over to Giselle and Robin. They're at a coffee shop. Giselle gets there first, and then Robin comes in. She comes in with some hats and some sweatshirts for Giselle's daughters. Looks like they're going to model those for her site. So Giselle's like, oh, yeah, these are cute. We'll get some pictures for you. Not sure if they're just going to be for the gram or the actual site. And then Robin said, I have a bone to pick with you. And Giselle's like, what I do? And she's like, you know what you did? Think back. Think back to something you said that you should not have said. Man, Giselle knew what she did. And instantly, it, rewinds back to the moment when Giselle and Ashley are discussing Ashley purchasing a property with Michael Darby and how you guys are divorcing and you do not need to be purchasing a property. Look at Robin. She and Juan are not married and his name is not on that house. Then immediately Karen's like, whoop. Did she just spill some tea? She did spill some tea. She spilled some tea that was not her business to share. And Robin clocked her for that. Robin's like, why would you do that? In the confessional, Robin tells us that the only reason Juan's name is not on the house is because she has the better credit score and having him on the property or on the mortgage would increase their interest rates. It's a really practical thing to do because she said he's still rebuilding his credit after the bankruptcy and foreclosure. And again, a lot of the financial issues that they had that were really Robin's fault. I love how she just kind of forgets that. But she's like, you know what? It's not my house. It's our house. Just because my name is on it, it's our house. So she kind of sets that clear. But I do love that she goes after Giselle for that and like how Giselle apologizes and was like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Nah. I can't wait to see where their friendship goes. I know they're still friends, but I want to see if they start to grow apart a little bit because Robin seems to be hanging out with Charisse more, bringing Charisse more into the fold. Is that going to be her new richer BFF with better connections than Giselle? Because really, let's think about it. Outside of this show, and some bones that Bravo keeps throwing to her because for some reason Andy loves Giselle. I don't know why. She has no storyline. I feel just like she's a production plant. She's there to keep the drama stirred up. But we never really get a lot about Giselle. We don't get a lot about her dating. Her business went under. Again, outside of this show, who is Giselle and what does Giselle have going on? We don't know. Is it because it's nothing? I don't know. You tell me. Then we get over to the throuple. We get over to Gordon, Mia, and their friend Jacqueline. And Jacqueline comes in and Mia's like, oh, Jacqueline and I have been friends for 15 years. She's like Gordon's other wife. And the production just asked her, hey, has she ever hooked up with Gordon? No, it's not like that. Not Gordon, which insinuates that maybe there have been men that they've shared in the past, and maybe during their stripper days, but maybe Gordon's not one of those men. Again, not 100% sure about that because they seem to have like a better vibe and a better dynamic than Mia and Gordon. Even just with the CYA comment when they were talking about Karen sending the text messages to Mia, letting Mia know what's about to go down when she comes to the party, how the women may ambush her about the Instagram post. And Jacqueline was like, oh, she was probably a part of it. She was just trying to CYA. And he was like, CYA? Like, yes, cover your A. And she's like, oh, I've never heard that. Am I the only one that's heard that and use it all the time? I think in corporate world, when you document, and back up any of your correspondence with clients, you're always CYA. So I guess maybe that was just common speak in my workplaces that I've been in. But yeah. So again, they had a really, again, a better vibe. So again, I don't know about that. So I'd watch her if I were you. I know they're not friends anymore. Can't wait to see what that fallout is about. Maybe Jacqueline gets a little too close to some other women in the group who are not friendly with Mia. Again, don't know what happened. We then get to Candace and Ashley's meetup. So it begins, guys. So it begins. Ashley, we get to a flashback earlier when Robin and Giselle were having coffee. Robin tells Giselle about her meeting up with Ashley. And Ashley letting her know that Chris Bassett, Candace's husband, texted her like at 2:45 in the morning and said, hey, you guys should have stopped by the the View, whichever one he called it. And how she felt uncomfortable about that because of the time of day. However, he was responding to a post that same night of she and a girlfriend out on the town. And he was basically like, hey, you guys should have stopped by my place. And instead, my spot. And Robin, explained to Ashley, listen, he manages this restaurant now. Of course, he's going to invite people out. Chris is super nice to all of us, really friendly with all of us. This was completely innocent. And Ashley's like, yeah, it was innocent. I'll probably just tell Candace anyway. And Giselle, of course, then chimes in and goes, oh, it wasn't innocent. Because he slid into her DMs just like he slides into my DMs. And Robin's looking at her like, what are you talking about, Giselle? Oh, remember after filming the reunion? She's talking about something that happened. I'm not sure the time frame, but possibly months prior that she'd already told Robin about. Robin already told her to let it go. She's bringing it back up again and using this instance with Ashley to blow this situation completely out of proportion and create a storyline like only Giselle does. Oh, well, he was telling her, oh, he came into my room and my glam squad was already gone. I use glam squad loosely because I refuse to believe that any reputable glam squad would let you walk around with those beauty store wigs on your head. I mean, girl, you have too much money for that. Maybe it's all going into the house. I don't know. So she's buying, synthetic wigs at the beauty supply stores. I don't know what she's doing with their money, but Giselle's crazy. Giselle's lost her mind. Even Robin's like, I can't even defend this. I can't even defend you. And she's like, Chris is all of our friends. He messages all of us. And she, explains this to Giselle, and but just like, I felt uncomfortable. And Robin's just like, are you kidding me? Even she's not believing this. So Candace and Ashley meet up, and my God, Ashley, is this going to be the old Ashley? Is this going to be the old Candace? How is she going to respond to this news? So Ashley tells her, Chris texted me at 2:45 or DM'd me at 2:45 in the morning. And you see Candace just pause, like, yes, yeah, okay. And she tells, what the message said about her stopping by. And she's like, yes, he manages that restaurant. He, needs to drive business there. This is what he does. And Ashley has this smirk on her face, almost as if she's, again, I told you something about when Ashley delivers bad news or delivers drama or tea. She's always smiling, like she's getting enjoyment out of pissing someone off. So in my mind, I'm wondering, is Ashley really Candace's friend, or is she just trying to light another fire, and blow their whole friendship or budding friendship up? But Candace does not take the bait. She doesn't. She just goes, well, I appreciate you telling me this, but it was completely innocent, and, I'm fine with it. She was just, and they said, okay, squashed it and had dinner. So there's that. Let's see. I will say that when Ashley said Chris messaged me at 2:45, Candace is like, my husband? Or is that what, my husband? And at that moment, you knew that she was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. And you see it again on her face at the dance studio when Giselle starts to bring it up, like, again, here we go. And she immediately tries to squash this BS. Then we get to, the girls are about to order. And I hope Ashley clocked this, because when the waiter asked what they would be having, and do you have any allergies? And Candace just goes, I'm allergic to bullshit. Just like that. I hope you clocked that, Ashley. Candace is not going to play with you ladies this season. Not about her husband. She's just not going to let you guys have it. So again, she handled that really, really well. Then we get to the dance class. Giselle and Robin gets there first at the dance class. Robin is, I'm telling you, she's with it this season. She's like, you know what? I feel like production maybe sat down and had a talk with her. Like, you got to bring us more than this fake relationship that you have with Juan. I'm sorry. This arrangement, this marriage that will never be that you have with Juan. You got to give us some more than that. And she's showing up. She's showing out. She's involved. She's engaged. And I love it. I really love it. I'd like to see a good Rob and Candace friendship happen. One person I've noticed who's been quieter lately, the last 2 episodes, and I'm not sure if we're going to get more of a storyline from her, is Wendy. Wendy hasn't gotten a lot. And so that makes me nervous. Again, we're going to see what happens with the whole Mia drama and how that unfolds, if that earns her, another season. But they don't seem to be focusing on her a lot these past 2 episodes. So Giselle, Ashley, and Robin get to the class. Karen is sick. She has a 102-degree fever, and probably from all that running and dodging Charisse. So she's not going to be there. And so they're talking, and Ashley and Giselle Robin just immediately stirs up the drama. Like, is Robin production now? She looks at Giselle, looks at Ashley, and is like, don't you guys have something to say? Like, hey, get this scene started. I have things to do. And Ashley just kind of smirks like, well, I really don't appreciate how you were insinuating all these things about my marriage. And they go back and forth, and honestly, it just comes down to the fact that no one has to explain themselves to Giselle. Giselle keeps going, well, I don't understand, and I don't know why you would do this and why you didn't tell me this. And she gets like, who, why? Are you my mama? Like, did you give birth to me? I don't have to tell you anything. I'm not married to you. I'm not related to you. I'm barely friends with you. So why would I ever sit here and have to explain my marriage or the reason why I'm buying a home with my husband, who's still legally my husband? Why would she have to do that? So, and Ashley's telling her, like, hey, listen, when you were going through your divorce, when you divorced your husband, weren't there times that you guys would reconcile? And Giselle was like, 15 years later, are you and Michael reconciling? And Ashley was just kind of quiet about that. But again, bottom line is, it's none of your business what Ashley does with Michael. Michael's the father of her 2 kids. They are married. They live in the same household. Their finances are intertwined. Their lives are intertwined. It's going to take more than a few months or a few weeks to detangle all of that if she is really getting a divorce. That takes time. It's an emotional process. It's a legal process. It does not happen overnight. Again, if they really divorce. Who knows? She may, again, just live in that $2 million house that she's moving into and live happily ever after with Michael at the penthouse. And that goes back to something that Deborah, her friend from the playgroup, that they had one little snapshot together, mentioned. She asked Ashley, was she sad? And I don't think Ashley's, well, why would Ashley be sad? Their lives have not changed. They still live under the same roof. I think the only thing that's changed is that they don't sleep in the same bed anymore. But they still talk about the kids. They still, are there in the penthouse, a tiny penthouse together. So she probably doesn't have a lot of time to be sad yet because she's not alone yet. She's still with Michael. So we'll see how that all unfolds later in the season should she move out and he doesn't move with her. Let's Let's see. Then Charisse gets there. Charisse is in another scene. I'm telling you, Charisse is trying to slide back in there and get a champagne glass. I think champagne glasses. Bottom line is she's trying to get back into the fold. She wants that old spot back. She's like, I'm the original Grand Dame. I want back in here. So Charisse comes in. She's kitten heels on. Not high heels. She's like, I'm not even gonna play with you young girls like that. I got my kitten heels on. And they go into the class and craziness ensues. Wendy gets there, shows us some Nigerian winding, and I love it. I thought Candace did a great job. Wendy did a great job. Giselle thinks she did a great job. And Ashley did a great job. And then there was Robin in the back. And Robin was just giving us all the laughs. Robin is like your goofy, sporty BFF. I like Robin this season. I'm liking her. She doesn't care about laughing at herself or making fun of herself. And watching Robin dance actually reminded me of Sex and the City, Miranda Hobbs, when they went to a dance class. Miranda and Carrie went to a dance class with Charlotte, and they had to pop their hips. And and Miranda just could not do it. She was just kept trying to do it. She just had no rhythm. She has no flow. The hips have no sway. That's Robin, and that's okay because I'm sure she could handle somebody on the basketball court. So she has her strengths. Dancing, being girly is not one of them. So the dance class is over after lots of fun and, Giselle feeling herself and thinking she's amazing in that dance class. And it just shows how inflated her ego is, which is evident in just a few minutes in which she tried to pull with Candace. So everyone leaves. Ashley's like, I have cupcakes and champagne for everyone. Let's go out and toast and drink or toast and eat. So they're out there and she's explaining to Charisse why, or to the girls, Charisse and Robin, the girls that are there, why she is purchasing the house with Michael. And it sounds great on paper, basically. She's like, I can't qualify for this house on my own. I actually meant to look at some Potomac real estate prices because just recently it was listed as one of the most expensive places to buy property. So I think her property is over $2 million. And she needs Michael to qualify for that. She needs his income, and they need to be married for her to be able to count his income on this mortgage. And yeah, I'm not mad at that. It's a business decision. She's not dumb. Michael's not dumb. I think they know what they're doing. So I'm going to let them do it. This is their money. I don't care what they do with it. So no one else should be questioning that. Even Charisse is like, oh, yeah, go ahead and do that. Charisse gets it. So here we go with the foolishness. Giselle was like, Candace, can you hang back? I need to speak with you. And you already see Candace's face like, okay. So they're sitting on the floor and she tells her, there was this incident that happened that made me feel really uncomfortable with Chris after the reunion. My glam squad had left. He knew they had left because he, said bye to Cal or whatever his name is. And so he knew that no one was in the room, and he asked me to go in the room because he wanted to talk. And Candace never batted an eye, never gave an expression, was just like, okay. And she goes, did he do anything inappropriate? Well, no. Did he say anything inappropriate? Well, no, but I felt really uncomfortable because I shouldn't be in the room with this married man and how married men will cheat. And Candace is just like, listen, you've been in our home. He's, Chris thinks of you guys as his friends, as sisters. He would lay down his coat in a puddle for you. Like, why would you think? It just made me feel uncomfortable. And in that moment, Candace just kind of looks around, looks dead at the camera, and was like, is this what we're doing? And as Giselle continues to, say, well, that's how I felt. I felt uncomfortable in that situation. And Giselle kind of alluded in the previous scenes with Robin, like, oh, I know when a man is he's trying me. Honey, watching you on that floor trying to dance and be sexy. Nobody is trying you. You're pretty, but again, I think Candace said it best when she called you a shell. You're pretty, but you're a shell. Um, Candace just casually just gets up. She just gets up, gets her bag, walks off. Where's Eric? Where's Eric? And you see that smirk on Giselle's face. What did I do? Like she's kind of sits there and smiles and oh goodness, I'm so happy that Candace did not respond directly to Giselle and give her that energy. But Candace walks off. She's in the restroom and she's, Candace's voice is starting to crack because that's what happens when Candace gets upset. She's a crier. I did not see a tear fall. She kept it together and she kept it strong. Like that's the maturity in our girl this season. She's talking to Eric, and she's like, is this what we're doing this season? You will not malign my husband. We have Michael Darby for that. Someone who, actually makes people feel uncomfortable and grabs asses. Like, we have him for that. You're not going to do this to my husband. And the scene ends. And we're going to pick up hopefully next week where we left off. And I love this season so far. It's really great. And I love Candace's maturity. I feel like a proud mama seeing our girl grow up and not taking the bait, not giving them what they want when they go after her and pick at her. And it just makes me wish she would not have given Giselle all of this energy for all these years, because Giselle does this every single season and everyone allows it. And I love for Candace calling out production like, no, not this season, not my man, not my marriage. You're not going to do this to him. And I really appreciate that from her. And I love that Robin and the other ladies all seem to be on her side. So I'm not sure how much time we're going to spend on this storyline, because it doesn't seem to have a lot of legs, versus Candace and Giselle now see each other. Like, Candace is looking at Giselle like, okay, now I see you. You're not for me, and I get that now. So again, I hope we just squash this whole Chris Bassett trying to hit on Giselle and DMing, or her sliding in her DMs and being a sneaky link when Giselle doesn't even know what a sneaky link is. My goodness, I hope her kids have scolded her for that. She's too old to be using that term anyway. Girl, no. And no. And no. But no, it was a great episode. I can't wait to see episode 3 and what it gives. Again, loving Robin, loving Candace. Can't wait to see a little bit more from Wendy this season. But until then, let's chat again next week. Love and light, guys.